Okay, folks, this is a special review for my friend Ryan. I highlighted that I picked it up yesterday at a thrift shop in Modesto for 50 cents, and he said he has been looking for this exact copy. This is a fourth-year release. The original home video release on video cassette came out in 1987. This is a 1991 VHS copy. Miracle on 34th Street. This is a 1947 film. Written for screen and directed by George Seaton. Interesting fact, George Seaton served as the president of the Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences for 3 times, and he was really deep in with the Screen Actors Guild. So he adapted this story. His screenplay came from a short story from a guy named Valentine Davies. In the UK, it was released as The Big Heart. And interesting notes. You will note that Edmund Gwenn and young Natalie Wood are featured prominently on this box. However, studio head of 20th Century Fox, Daryl F. Zanuck, hated this film and said that people prefer to go see the movies in warmer weather, and released it in May of 1947. And all of the advertising didn't even mention at all that it was a Christmas film. The original advertising posters mostly feature Maureen O'Hara. And as time has gone on and this movie has obviously become a Christmas classic, we now see Edmund Gwenn featured prominently here on the packaging, right? So he won Best Supporting Actor for this role at the Oscars. It also won Best Original Screenplay and Best Original Story. The movie has a 97-minute runtime. It's considered a classic. In 2005, it was inducted into preservation by the Library of Congress and also by the Motion Picture Academy of Arts and Sciences in 2009. The movie cost $248,000 to make. It was filmed in November of 1946 to capture the actual shots at the 1946 Thanksgiving Day Parade. 9 cameras were used simultaneously, and there's just a lot of interesting stuff about this movie. It went through 4 or 5 different name changes before they settled on Miracle on 34th Street for the American release. One of the other names was, like I mentioned, The Big Heart, which for whatever reason, that's what it was titled in the release in the UK. It is a 5 out of 5 movie, folks. It's right in the sweet spot, golden age of Hollywood. The year before, you see It's a Wonderful Life, 1947, this movie. There's just so many good movies that came out. It was nominated for Best Picture, but it would lose out to another film called Gentleman's Agreement. And Edmund Gwenn's performance as Kris Kringle, a.k.a. Santa Claus, is just so good. There was a remake in 1994. Richard Attenborough also does a really good job in the 94 version. There was colorized versions of this film, but of course we preferred in the original glorious black and white. What else did I want to mention? Yeah, the best DVD release is considered 2006 release, where it has a commentary with Maureen O'Hara. And there was a made-for-TV version of the film that the 2006 DVD release also has. Okay, so this has got a 96% Rotten Tomatoes critic average. Audience members are a little bit lower. I think these older movies just don't sit well with a more contemporary audience. 25,000 reporting in. Their score is 87%. IMDb, 7.9 out of 10. This movie, to me, is like a slice of life in the past, too. Before, now you just see, I mean, obviously there's always been monopolies of corporations, but this movie specifically takes place at Macy's and talks about the Macy's department stores. When American brands were American-owned, you had a lot more choices for big box retail. I can go down a laundry list of all the department stores that no longer exist. Regional chains, national chains. It's kind of sad to kind of look back and see what once was is now just like conglomerized, right? You have very little shopping choices, and you do not have retail shopping experiences like they had in the days of old. I think the only probably retail institution that still kind of personifies that customer service level of shopping experiences would be the Nordstrom family and their privately owned department stores. They still pride themselves on customer service. But you see in this movie kind of highlights consumerism in retail, but how they were really catering to people shopping at the time. And even though it's a movie, I think it's a true slice of Americana, and you're seeing this post-war optimism showcased. I think this would be a good movie to watch right alongside, obviously, It's a Wonderful Life that came out the year earlier, and another underrated holiday classic that kind of dips into the retail, The Little Shop Around the Corner. I think these would be good to watch back to back. Throw It's a Wonderful Life in there too. Just love the golden age of Hollywood classics, right? In glorious black and white. I'm a rare 5 out of 5 on it. It truly is an iconic movie, and it certainly deserves its place to be preserved in the National Film Registry. This VHS copy is not the best quality. There was actually a remastered copy that came out in 2017 on Blu-ray. However, it did not get a US region release. The last remastered copy was done in the late 80s. It was remastered in THX, so that's most of the DVD copies that you see is based off of that. Thanks for watching. Hopefully you learned something new. Until next time, we'll see you then.